Well, joining us now live in the studio is Steph Malfatti with Cheer Extreme Supernovas. A lot of you might recognize her from their awesome performance at NCA All Star. Steph, thank you so much for joining us today. So excited to talk with you. I know you have a very inspiring story, so if we wanted to start with that, if someone wanted to know who you are and what you're all about, where would we even begin?
So I have this really weird thing where I introduce myself. I'm like, hi, I'm Steph and I'm blind. So that's the basis of it. I'm blind. I have a condition called Charge syndrome, which is a developmental disorder that affects all of my organs, including my eyes. I've been a cheerleader for 15 years now, and I'm a gymnast and an aerialist as well.
Awesome. So doing a little bit of everything and have never really let that hold you back, which we think is so inspiring. But let's go back to the start. 15 years now. How did you first get involved with cheer and tumbling in the first place?
So I actually started off on my high school JV team when I was a freshman. I did my winter season there, and I loved cheer so much that I decided to take it to a competitive program back when Cheer Extreme DMV was a different program. I cheered for them since basically when they first started, and I was very nervous at first, but I had a coach who was like, no excuses, you can do everything everyone else can do, and he made sure I knew how to fly, I knew how to stunt, I knew how to tumble. I learned everything everyone else did, and he never let me use it as an excuse.
That's awesome. And obviously you have found a way to excel and be so successful. We've seen you do a lot of back handsprings, which we'll get to in a second, but what is it about cheer and tumbling that you loved so much that inspired you to keep pushing through?
It's been sort of my constant. So I lived in England for 10 years, and I lived here, and I've been back and forth a lot, but no matter where I was, I always had cheer. And you sort of create this community that even if you're not with them 100% of the time, you're not still in the same program, or even when I was in England, I stayed in touch with my Cheer Extreme family. And now that I'm back from England, I'm still in touch with my Team England family. And it's just this massive community that was just such a big constant for me through so many life challenges, through so many changes, so many ups and downs. And it kept me grounded and it kept me happy always.
That's so special for sure. We saw that community on display when you got to take the stage at NCA earlier this month with Supernovas. The crowd went wild when you did all of your back handsprings. What was that experience like getting to compete in the arena?
It was crazy. So I've competed at Worlds before, but I will say NCA was even crazier than Worlds. I did ICU Worlds a couple years, and the crowds there were incredible, and I thought that was the biggest experience I'd have in terms of crowds. But NCA was a whole different ballgame. I wasn't expecting it to be this massive thing that it was, but hearing the way the crowd reacted to my tumbling, I was like, I want to do more, I want to do more. So day 2, I actually changed my pass because of how the crowd reacted on day 1. And I was so nervous about it because it's a pass that I haven't competed in years. And I did it, and as I was doing it, the crowd was getting louder and louder, and it was so surreal.
So awesome. I remember watching it and being so amazed myself as well. What is your favorite part about taking the stage and being able to perform?
So I actually used to hate performing. It's crazy because until 10 years into my cheer career, I was one of those athletes that really loved practice but didn't love competing. But now that I'm more comfortable within myself, I just really love the satisfaction of all my hard work coming to fruition. I really love seeing not just myself, but my teammates as well, everything that they've put on that mat, and showing the world everything that we can do after all the hard work we put in is just such an incredible experience.
Well, we got to hear a little bit of your story there. You are bringing so much awareness to this sport and a perfect example of never giving up. You didn't let being blind stop you, even though a lot of people probably told you you wouldn't be able to do this. I know it's been a long journey for you, but what has made this journey so memorable?
I think when I talk about my cheer journey, I always talk about my coach, Eric, and the impact he had on my life. He had known me. He passed away last year, but he had known me for like 10 years of my life. And he was the one that told me that there was no obstacle that I couldn't get over. And that was so good for my self-confidence. That's something I will never forget. He was there when my team won Worlds in 2017. He was there throughout everything. And now, even though he's passed away, all those memories I have with him and the journey he's led me through, like, came to a head at NCA. Like, I just kept thinking about all of that build up towards that and how amazing that experience was, and how amazing all of the memories I've had. Going to Worlds has been such a big memory for me. Going to other big competitions, like when I was in England, we used to do competitions every year that were huge, and it was a whole different experience too. So it's just been incredible.
So awesome. I'm sure he's so proud, still looking down on you. How do you hope to continue to keep bringing awareness to cheer, tumbling, gymnastics, just sports in general?
So right now I do like 3 different sort of pathways for that. The first and sort of most simple is I'm a coach. My full-time job is actually as a gymnastics coach. And I try to give all my kids the same kind of energy that my special coach gave me. And I try to be that special voice for those kids, any kids that have any sort of disabilities or any sort of challenges. I try to support them through that and give them options for ways that they can do whatever it is that they want to do despite those challenges. Another way I'm trying to do that is by still competing. I'm 27, so I'm not very young. I thought I had passed my prime. I can't do all the high-level skills I used to be able to do, but doing cheer abilities and being out on that mat showing that it is possible is a huge deal for me, because then people like me can see that they can do this. Even at the ripe old age of 27 and being blind, I'm still here. And then the third way is I'm trying to share as much of my journey on my social media as possible. I post a lot of reels of what it's like to train as a blind person, what it's like to do certain skills as a blind person. I post a lot of like feedback on like my thoughts on like certain issues because I'm blind within various sports, not just cheer and gymnastics, but sort of in a fitness environment in general. And I try and share that journey with as many people as I can.
Awesome. Well, it's been really inspiring to watch. Last one to wrap up here. What are the goals you still have for the future? What do you still hope to accomplish?
Oh man, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Because I am getting a bit older, I am a little bit past where I used to be as an athlete. I really want to compete at Worlds again. So I'm hoping to do a cheer abilities team or an adaptive abilities team and go to Worlds again. I would love to win NCA. We came top 3 this year, so fingers crossed for next year. But my big goals, like as a person within sports, is to keep raising awareness and spread my journey and the possibility of other people's journeys to as many people as possible.
Awesome. Well, that was Steph Malfatti. Steph, such an inspiring story. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Steph Malfatti and her inspiring story with Cheer Extreme Supernovas. You can hopefully catch them competing out on the mat again soon.